I don't want to discuss anything else because I want to kill Voldemort, and that's the end of my life journey. Before we begin the session, I would like to know who all are really active on their Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter from their own personal account and who have already tried to build a personal brand via that. So we are here to try and create the maximum impact via your personal brand on your social media channels. What I've seen usually is whenever we are trying to build a personal brand on social media, we usually pick up somebody else's post. We see what's trending for them. We see what's the topic. And then we dive into that very easily. Because, it's working for them, but it has to work for us. But that's not the ideal way to do personal branding. What is? Before we answer that question, I want you to answer this question. Who are you? What do you think personal branding is? And why do you want to be a personal brand? Let's get to the next question to understand why it's important. Before we move ahead, I want everybody to take a sheet of paper, whether you use a whiteboard, whether you use a notebook. I would want you to answer one question. What is my goal for my personal brand? Imagine today, I tell you all the tricks that you require to go start posting on LinkedIn and Instagram. But without a goal, you cannot really understand how you're going to reach there. So your goal needs to be clearly defined on why you're actually getting onto the platform. So now that we have a clear-cut goal, let's figure out the way to reach that goal via personal branding. But to reach that goal, we cannot take a mediocre way because there are so many people out there who are trying to be content creators today. The number in India is 8 crore. 8 crore people are on Instagram, LinkedIn, and several other platforms, and they are trying to build their personal brand. They're trying to earn money out of it by some way or the other. So if you're not building your personal brand impactfully, you're going to get lost in the crowd. All those 8 crore creators have access to how to optimize your profile, what time you have to post on Instagram for your reel to go viral, what time you have to post on LinkedIn to make sure that there's enough traction on your post, how many hashtags should be there, which hashtag should be used. All this is freely available on the internet by major personal branding gurus. There's one very clear way of doing it. It is by defining your brand personality. Nobody really remembers what your purpose is. You may run after it. That's completely fine. That's your life goal. But when the other person, the other human is interacting with you, he is going to look at your character traits. He is going to look at your personality traits. And that is why the other human is going to connect to you. And that is why the other human will remember you. So that is what a brand personality is. Let's get ready. Let's create a unique and impactful personal brand for you. So now that we know that we need a brand personality, we also need to define what a brand personality is. How do we define that? Imagine you are in a professional scenario. So we'll take the example of a professional workplace. Imagine you're in a professional workspace and you meet somebody for the first time. You're like a closed flower pot. You have a wall around you. You will tell them, this is what I do. I'm Komal Ramani-Makhija. I'm a brand strategist. This is what I've studied, blah, blah, blah. End of story. This is the only information I'm going to give you. But that's my first event with you. What if I go to that networking event or that professional setting again and again? And maybe I've met Akshaya once. Maybe I meet her another couple of times. What will happen? I'll open up a little bit. I'll tell Akshaya, you know what, I like coffee. Do you like coffee? We are in the same city. Let's meet up for coffee. Let's not do a Zoom call. I don't like this networking event anymore. Do you know of any other networking groups that you're a part of? We'll start discussing smaller details of our life. Because now we know the person's interacted with us. I have some level of trust in Akshaya that, okay, I can open up a little more. Suppose I keep going to the same event, same networking zone or same professional space again and again and again. And say, after another 2 months, I again meet Akshaya. I'll open up a little more. I'll tell her about the problem I was facing. I'll tell her that I was not well and still I decided to come because business is not doing great. I'll ask her for tips. Do you have anything that's working for you? Why don't you let me know? We'll become a little more pally and I'll start opening up a little more. Again, 1 year down the line, I'll tell her, you know what? Let's do a collab. You do this part, I'll do this part. We'll hit it off. Let's come together and start a new service. Now, because the trust level is built. The trust level is built because from here, I've already gone here. And there will be a stage in our relationship where I'll completely open up to her. But this, we are talking about an offline event. What happens in an online zone? When we start our online journey, we start as a small bud. And then the audience will shower a little bit of love on us. They like our posts a few times, they'll comment a few things, and then we'll see, oh, this is working. We should not go from here and not open up. We should remain closed because it's working for us. What's the need? What's the need of opening up? Because the first thing that I did, the first tip that I gave, 3 ways to kill Voldemort, is working for me. Now, next time I'll give 5 tips and next time I'll give 7 tips because that topic is working for me. I don't have to tell them who Hermione is. I don't have to tell them who Ron is, what is my life about. I don't want to discuss anything else because I want to kill Voldemort and that's the end of my life journey. You don't need to know anything more about me. That's our approach to personal branding online. We don't open up. We don't tell people about ourselves. We are always a closed bud like this. When we should be like this. We don't trust people and we don't give our audience enough reason to come back and speak to us because we are always like this. And then what happens? Somebody comes and tells me, why you're not following Harry Potter? Because he is giving me 3 tips to kill a Voldemort. Now ChatGPT can give me 7 tips. I'm not a fan of Harry Potter anymore. Why do I need Harry Potter? But if you love Harry Potter, if you're a fan, ChatGPT can keep giving you anything, but you will still go back to him because you have a connect with him. You have formed a connection with that person. You're a fan of that person. His brand personality has pulled you. That is what personal branding is about. It's creating a pull effect so that your audience keeps coming back to you for more, even though that information is available at several other places. But the most important question or the repeated question that comes to me always is, it's an online world and I'm not comfortable sharing more about it, more about me. What if people misuse it in any way? What is the security level? What if I tell them 10 things and they lash out? Or what if I get, trolled? I want to go on a date with somebody, but I don't want to put that up on social media. That's okay. You can decide where your personal brand ends and where your personal space begins. If your entire brand personality is divided into 5 parts, so 20% given to each part, you can stop at 20, you can stop at 40, you can stop at 60, you can stop at 80. Probably once you start, you will only do 20%. Probably after 6 months, you will have the confidence and then you can open up and then you can do 40% of it. And then you can do 60% of it. But there is a part that you don't want to share with your audience and that's completely fine. Now, what is this flower that's there in front of you? There are so many petals to it. Every single petal of that flower is one personality trait from you. If there are 100 petals in the flower, I would say there are 100 personality traits that you have. The confusion is, if you put all those 100 outside, your audience is going to go mad. They will not know what to connect to. So you have to narrow it down. And there is a technique to do it. And we are going to learn that technique.